being oppressed, cursed for breaking the Deuteronomy codes. Deuteronomy 28:15 through 68. Read that. Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. Read that. Everybody's against the black man, but everybody wanna be us, man. Cream of the planet. Asiatic.
Our time comes soon. We've been oppressed too long. Taunting me and my people till our lives are gone. Our time comes soon. We've been oppressed too long. Taunting me and my people till our lives are gone.
Shaklack, shaklack, shaklack. Guns are blazing. Bodies are laying every day on ghetto pavements. Girls molested by wicked men that their mothers trust to raise them. My first thought is to grab that thing and erase these abased men. But I realize I can't just kill lives that are products of European enslavement. Now many minds are like Frankenstein that are Willie Lynch related. See, some of us has never escaped it. We gotta do what it takes to break it. You say I hate them because they are rapists. Well, I hate the results of our ancestors being locked to mate in cages. I'm preparing for our engagement, this war against the children of Satan, patiently awaiting on Christ's return for this war of Armageddon. As stated in the 19th chapter of Revelations, our morals are merely disintegrate. We now walk the earth lost in space. My talk and thoughts won't make things safe because the truth often agitate. My destiny within the breath in me is to erase black self-hate. Don't call me a racist because I pinpoint hate and because I love to embrace my race. I belong to a nation that seems to have fallen within the abyss of the generation since being made slaves in former days by out of the cave Caucasians. Now my people really believe that a fake white Christ is coming back to save them. I see false prophets soul searching in New York subway station. Christ be black like me, so can you actually please tell me why you're like hating? If you research, you will see that this is factual information. Because of truth I speak, you say Tazadaq's a racist, I hate him. Damn, you black and Latino people are so amazing. Looks like only Yeshua can come back to save some. Get your mind right, kings. Get your mind right, man. Face this war, get ready for this war. Armageddon, there's a war on blacks, man.
Our time comes soon. We've been oppressed too long. Taunting me and my people till our lives are gone. Our time comes soon. We've been oppressed too long. Taunting me and my people till our lives are gone.
I'm far from perfect, but striving to be Christ-like. So perhaps I can make a difference within our thug's life. Leaders, preachers, and teachers give them false perception that mentally maim. They're drowning in the pool of deception and corruption in these last days. They have no map plan and hopelessly caged to ever escape this ghetto maze. Slow down, little homie, pump your brakes, because too many black men are rushing to early graves. Too many still live in mental caves. Others slip through the cracks, then forget about their race. But I have a master plan straight from the Creator that will lift up the entire nation like an elevator. We're just pawns in the games, the real players hate us. They love white knights, white queens, that's cool. Like a chess game, my people, they study our every move. Use your freedom of speech to teach, they might move on you if you attempt to spark dark minds with your Jews. I'm not trying to make your thoughts mine, cause that's not cool. But you can't lose with the stuff that I use. I give birth to thoughts that break the curse. In 9 months, these dead minds I unearth. Born again, I teach them to love each other first. This promotes both mental and spiritual elevation. We need to stand up now to unite as a nation. Demand reparations for all the days that they enslaved us. They say you people just need to learn to exercise patience. It's been over 100 years and we're still waiting. He sighs and looks up in disbelief. The commander-in-chief has no love for we. He's supposed to rule the earth justly, but I see death around the corner and hell up in the Harlem B. Don't go to Ethiopia, can't you see? We got starving children right here on our city streets. This country really don't have no love for us. Is it possible to love whom you cannot trust? Things have to change, it is a must. After what was done to us, we've been beaten and shot for reaching for ID. Pay the police salaries to brutalize and murder me. Every city in America seems to be that the beast mentality is a monopoly.
Our time come soon. We've been oppressed too long. Taunting me and my people till our lives are gone. Our time come soon. We've been oppressed too long. Taunting me and my people till our lives are gone.
Yeah, this right here is for everyone that's actually been molested by these pedophiles, these Catholic priests touching little boys and girls. Feel this right here. You gotta vent to relinquish that pain and torment. Feel this right here.
It's never an excuse or an accident when a pedophile takes away your innocence. Suddenly the remainder of your life is spent being traumatized by that incident when you're abused.
As a young girl, she was abused after witnessing her mother being misused. She grew up utterly confused under the ruthless hand of a mother's perverted man. She could not understand this, why he ruled her family with an iron fist, and her older brother provoked her to kiss his penis at the innocent age of 6 for cookies and chips. Please listen, because this is about to get thick. She did not like this, yet despite this, she wondered where was her father to help her out of this. She felt dead, feeling lifeless from this crisis. As she grew, many men could do just about anything they wanted to. Sad but true, this is just a mere result of what incest could do to you. And I know that many of you listening has experienced this sort of abuse. See, this young girl's dreams were ripped apart at the seams by choices that her mom had made. This man made her a slave to fear, while the young girl and her brother wished that their mother's abusive boyfriend would disappear and that their father was really there. Well, she was dead. Where's dad?
It's never an excuse or an accident when a pedophile takes away your innocence. Suddenly the remainder of your life is spent being traumatized by that incident when you're abused.
Fast forward to the year 2001, the girl becomes a lesbian, kissing, hugging, and licking an East Indian woman. Now the girl has a boyfriend who dressed just like a kid, who will not get a job, smoke L's, and she does not know what a real man is, and would not know how to treat one if she did have one. Oh look, she just got one, and he gave her a daughter instead of a son. But life with a borderline woman for him is not much fun, because now she see how her past reflect on her relationships presently. She just blames her past abuse on the man that she's with currently, whom she loves maliciously. Now she is with another man. She is baffled and cannot understand why he also had to cheat. She gave him money, washed his feet, they got lifted together, ran the street, yet still she had to compete with another woman. Now her assumption is true that all men are dogs, for she was raised not to understand how to discern a good from a bad man. and that she could have heaven in the palm of her hands. Like a race, this woman ran from man to man. You might know her. She is like a whore. The manner in which she acts, the clothes she wore. A young woman obtained the sexual experience of a harlot. Damn, she's only 24. Her future appears obscure. Finally, the man of her dreams appears seem to come true. She dreams nightly, but dreams defer you. Her dream god is touching her daughter too. She has decided what to do. He tells her, baby, your daughter is a liar. That's not true. I love you. She is crying. Her daughter's crying too. As she separates her lips, gasps for air, about to flip. Take a deep breath and tell him, you know what to do. Damn you, we're through. The night is cold, the moon is full, the sky is blue. Her decision tears her in two. The names are kept confidential because the story you just heard is true. It's never an excuse or an accident when a pedophile takes away your innocence. Suddenly the remainder of your life is spent being traumatized by that incident when you're abused. All right, shalom, 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 shalom. Welcome to another Bible study. Tonight we're going to talk about rearing a child, if you will, if that word is okay in common parlance, not in legalese. Some of you may have children, some of you may not. David. To those that have children and don't know how to raise them, according to the Most High's commandments, tonight's subject matter should help you out. The link was sent to everyone in the email, Kadar. The Most High should actually guide you through the spirit of the Ruach. So without further delay, we'll go into how to train up a child according to the Bible. Train up a child according to the Most High. Any of you good brothers got anything before we get started? Gratitude is my attitude.
Kahan, I'm just glad to be here and be a part. For all those that are listening, Kahan said, welcome to another Bible study. I'll tell you, it's a very important subject matter, especially in these end times. And if anyone's been on the calls about the statistics of what the rate is of how young males are going to jail and different things, this is a good start to try to prevent that. So to train your child up, you don't spoil them, and in spite of detriment condition, give enough faith to try to place your son or your daughter in the best position despite your detriment, to a successful adult spirit-led life. I'm looking forward to it. All praises Most High. Despite the challenges, Most High give us a way out and continue to press on as we're being tried in these times. It's all good. You got anything, Benai?
Kahan. The Supreme Elohim will give you blueprints for everything you could ever really think about on this plane of existence. Rearing children, dealing with your spouse, all types of things. So the blueprint is there. It's just up to the men of the Most High to bring it out and to follow it and to follow the law, statutes, and commandments, and things will be revealed to you. And the understanding and knowledge and wisdom will be revealed to you. So you just got to be a man of the Most High, and it'll come. Or it'll bring somebody to bring it to you. Everything works out. But this will be a good lesson tonight for those with or without children, to understand how to bring them up, because there's a cycle of a confusion that's been going on for too long, with rearing children and how they're brought up in this society. Only way to break that is to learn the right way. But I'm ready for tonight's lesson. Shalom, shalom to everybody. And the link was already posted in the email. If you don't got the link, go check the email. Everything went mute.
Yeah, I think
Y'all can hear me?
dealing with some in the background. It's all good.
Come on.
Hey, Kadar, if you didn't get the email, send an email to Kahan and or Junior. Copy one of us on it, and put a new contact number in there as well, huh? So we can get a hold of you. I see everybody that's in here now, man. Hey, that new song, man, that thing get me every time, man. It gets me every time.
Yeah, I can hear you. Hold on a sec. I guess nobody. If you guys saw the link, man, everybody else had to see it, man. It was in the email, man. Everyone in the email should have gotten that link, man. So, man, I don't know what's up. Why?
Specifically, I don't see Kadar in the list of everyone.
No, Kadar is under his business name over there.
Oh, okay.
It's there. It's he's in the group joint.
Okay. I don't recognize it, whatever it is.
See, man. I should be missing. He don't see it. I mean, everybody that's in the room was actually on the list, man. You see, man. Jeffrey Lopes, all of them there, man. Like 24 people.
Yeah, it's 24, 25 altogether. Shaw, Eric White, David, Tariq.
Even got that dude on there, man. What's his name, man? That owe me money, man. I didn't see him when I went to Pennsylvania, man.
FRT Oregon.
Yeah, what's his
TV
name?
and
Joe
Hotel.
Hotan. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Damn dirtbag.
Is Kadar Israelite C4 or is that somebody else?
Man, that's someone else, man.
Okay. Yeah, in the list, yeah, I could read everybody in the list. I don't see it. But it is a lot of them. Either way, out of 25, only 3 of us are here. Or 2 of us are from who you sent it to.
Chad Robertson, I need to remove him. Romeo, let's see. It's not 20-something people that's showing down. 21 more. Chanel Singleton, I need to remove her also. Man. I don't know, man. Let me check this list, man. Qatar was supposed to be in there, man. Let me see. The TDOC list. Someone's making some background noise, man.
Oh, that might be me.
Might not be in here, man. It's weird. Could have sworn he was on this TDOC list, man. Get that, man. Okay. Yeah, the new guy, I need he never be on these calls, man. Taurus, man. I need to give him a call, man. I think I added him to the emails either. Jeez Louise. All right. Took a darn now, man. I don't even know Taurus's email. Damn. David, don't come on here drunk, man. You're gonna get your damn ghetto pass revoked. Don't come on here drunk, David.
Fell out.
Yeah, he's probably drunk. He came on the weekend and the call is lit, man. Yeah, I just sent that to your email. Sure he was in the list. This one he was. It always pop up when I put in a queue. So I need to be more attentive to that. Let me see. Let's see, man. Taurus Flemings, that's him, man. I haven't been on the calls, man. Big play visual. Jeffrey Lopes, man, you mailed that packet? Hey, Taurus, man, I don't be seeing you on the calls, man. What's really good?
So I'm just getting up. I'm ready to go to work. I ain't get no email or nothing.
You said you're about to go to work?
Yeah, I'm about to get ready to go to work. I gotta be work at 10, but I ain't get no email about nothing.
Yeah, I don't know your email. Yeah, you
we tested.
So you work like the graveyard shift?
Yeah, I work graveyard shift and I go to school in the daytime. Yep. What you want me to test to you?
No, what's your yeah, you can text it. Damn, man. How you
What
living,
you got?
homie? I said, how you living, man? When do you I mean, I used to do that, man. When I was on the plantation, I used to do that, man. Massa had me picking cotton too, and going to school so I could get a larger debt. I ain't mad at you though, man.
I pay for school out of pocket. You know, I do most of the work with my hand, and when I plan to be an entrepreneur, you know, I want to fix cars, you know,
All right.
for my self business and stuff like that.
All right. Can't be mad at you for that, man. Can't be mad at you for that, man. But all right, brother, you can text it to me, man.
Okay, I got you.
So, all right. Shalom, man.
Shalom.
Yeah. Jeffrey Lopes, man, you sober? Jeffrey Lopes is like the young David, man. Sometimes Jeffrey Lopes, we call him and he's lit, man. I could tell. Where's my boy, Stefan and Evans, man. He said he's on YouTube.
Shalom.
Let me call my son. He's saying his mom shouldn't force him to watch some movie with her boyfriend and he doesn't want to. Take this for a second. Y'all should be. Let me give her a call. Check her eyes, man.
Shalom, Kadar. Welcome back.
Shalom, Mark.
Yeah, you never sent me that new contact information or whatever the case is from the other night.
I just posted in the email with you and Tazadaq.
Oh, word? All right. Yeah, let's pull that up.
I sent, I think it's to Shane email.
And it's coming from your work email?
Kahan.
Got you. Yeah, let me take this out. I went to my spam. Yeah, man. Yeah, I got some order of business to get up with Tazadaq about. So should we take care of that? Keep the brotherhood strong. Yeah, man. But like, did you have anything that you wanted to add in relation to the topic before Khan gets started? Gave myself and Benai already a chance to speak or whatnot.
I'm ready to get into the study. I mean, you know, it's a touchy topic for me, you know, because I got issues that have been going on for a while with training up my child because I don't get along with her mother. So I'm always open to learn something in this matter.
Oh, Khan. Yeah, it's difficult when there's opposing forces, and you know, and a child has to choose versus you know, during the co-parenting phase, you know, y'all on the same sheet of music. So I feel you on that one. Yeah, I went through that business for like a solid year. While mom was separated from me, and I was in a low place, man. Kahan definitely looked out. Some words of wisdom and guidance during that time. As a matter of fact, that's the time when I guess he went live with True Disciples of Christ, and definitely saved the brother from going down a different path, man. I'm not lying to you. Talking about life and death. It was just like that. But we're definitely ready to the subject matter. I'm also looking forward to precepts and everything. Me personally, I do enjoy you know, teaching, you know, especially my seed, but just teaching in general. So, yeah, I enjoy it. So whichever way the Most High directs us to do it, I'll turn it into a game and make it real easy. Whatever we need to do to, you know, build this community and nation up. I know a few things, a few scriptures, you know, train up a child in the way that he should go. When he is older, he won't depart from it. You know, so that lets us know. Matter of fact, let me pull that up. You know, so train up a child. Let me get that scripture right quick. The scripture is that, I think, is that in Proverbs? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is. Yeah, Proverbs 22:6 is what it is.
Come on.
Because I know I'll just be imagining if I'd have got this the way that Kahan's doing now, we would have had this when we were like 6, 7. You know, how much further we would be along in life. Just like, period. Being able to learn from others' mistakes as well as our own life experiences and this truth to avoid certain type of pitfalls. Life's going to happen regardless. Did you happen to get that? Proverbs 22:6.
Con, I got it.
All right, yeah, bring it up.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
So get them young. Get them young. Versus wait until, I would say wait until they become a teenager and then try to throw something brand new on them. And you're going to try to hear what you got to say. So get them young.
100%. From my experience, I see that culture is transmitted to a child in the first 7 years of their life. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't, I'm not going to say if you don't put it in them by that time, but it should be imputed in their life by that time, within the first 7 years.
Yeah, the Kahan brought up a statistic in the previous lesson that about that same deal as far as the child's development and brain development and them taking on habits for the rest of their life. So it's very crucial. You know, we train them appropriately and keep them protected. You know, the fact that he, you know, getting off to go see about his son is very important. Very important at every stage, but especially the first 7 years. And there's also scripture about not spoiling the child. And the opposite side of the spectrum is also not being too harsh at the same time. So there is a medium in which, you know, and how we should care for our seed, the holy seed line. What is that? It's me paraphrasing it kind of helps me remember a little bit about where it's at. Where it says, take hold of him by the neck when he is young, and lest you fear him in his greater age or something like that. Hold on, let me find that right quick. Let's see here. And there's another one, I think it's in Ecclesiasticus, it says, do not laugh at their folly. I think that goes hand in hand also. I'm gonna find it, but it goes hand in hand with spare not the rod, lest you spoil the child. Ecclesiasticus, I think, is like 27:28. Says, don't laugh at the child's at his folly, and always correct him. Let me pull that up right quick. But yeah, there's a lot of scriptures. I didn't even have this in mind at first, but Spirit moving as I'm, thinking and trying to recall how the scriptures, how the Bible tells us how we should handle, our sons and our daughters. You come across any? Let me look for this right here.
I'm looking them up as he's bringing them out. I see Ephesians 6:4 about not provoking your children
to anger. Yep, provoke them not to anger. Yeah.
It's the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 4. And ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nurture and admiration of the Supreme Allaham. Salaki.
Now I'm pretty sure. So how the Spirit's moving me in relation to that scripture is for me. I don't try to discipline my sons and daughters when I'm angry, so that way, so that way I don't make them overly, like upset. Always, and this is just me. Everyone they do what you want, but how I interpret, that scripture is just being calm. And I always reference or try to reference some type of scripture if I see like a habit that's going on in the household or some kind of spirit that's going on, especially among the children. I make that part of the next lesson. You know what I'm saying? I added in for the Shabbat service or whatever the case is, and that's just my way of being careful and wanting to keep them out of trouble, and also make sure I'm pleasing the Most High at the same time. Yeah, provoke them not to wrath, so that way they don't despise you. But I give an explanation now. A lot of things don't need explaining, but you should know based on how your seed responds to you or the age that they're at, and where that's going to be necessary for them to understand why they're being disciplined or corrected in a certain way. And it doesn't always have to be physically. It can be as extreme as taking something away that they see as being an essential item. You know what I mean? Or whatever the case is. Because I'm a firm believer in discipline, and I try to use every opportunity to teach, no matter what's going on. I find that to be a very key thing when it comes to spending quality time as well. It actually brings you closer together. The times that you discipline, depending on what the situation is. Man, let me see here. Where's that spare? Yeah, so that's Proverbs 13:24 about sparing the rod. And then you also got 19 and 18 about chastening your son. Where's that one in Ecclesiasticus about them and their folly? Especially us here in America. And this is just a little side note, because we're with the whole oppression thing that's been going on the past 400 years and that kind of deal. There seems to be a habit of trying to put on a show or performing and whatnot. And there's a time and a place, for that. But when it's not the time or the place, you don't want your seed to have confidence in acting and being a fool in an inappropriate time. Because do that in the public and they'll get themselves in trouble. But yeah, that Proverbs 19:18 about chastening thy son while there is hope and let not thy soul spare for his crime. So if your child, if your son or your daughter is legitimately breaking these laws, statutes, and commandments, legitimately breaking house, castle rules, rules of which benefit them as well, do not be swayed by crime, overly crying, begging and pleading and all that. If you are providing any manner of discipline in a very controlled manner, not over an emotional state, you tell them, hey, this is what your punishment is going to be if this happens, and then they go that way, you have to follow through with that. Salah, you have to follow through with that, no matter how much they beg or plead, because what that's going to do, and children are naturally good at this. They're good at manipulating. They're very good at it. It's a natural thing. Everyone is born with that innate ability.
God.
They'll play parents against each other, teachers, administrators, whatever it is they need to do to get their way. That is a natural carnal thing that everyone is wired with on how to win, to satisfy whatever your emotional or whatever your emotional need is, or flesh your desire, was candy, cookies, trying to exert authority over other children in the class or amongst siblings in the wrong way. They will manipulate you. Do not fall victim to their crime. You must follow through on a discipline if there was an understanding about that. Otherwise, they're going to be confident in doing the wrong thing. And a child that's confident in doing wrong will eventually get caught as an adult, and their life will end sooner than it needs to be. Or they'll get you caught up. You know what I'm saying? Or make you responsible for something that you had nothing to do with.
Sir, are you suggesting not to be passionate with your children?
Absolutely, I am, during the time that they are wrong and they know they're wrong.
Okay, I believe Dilette works for social service. She might be giving you a call.
Bring it. Bring it. Man. But on a serious note, so and I'm not, this is not legal advice, this is parental advice. This is the way I do it. I'll give them a number. When I see this is an issue, you got ample opportunity to fix it. If you don't fix it, I'm gonna have to fix it for you. If I fix it for you, this is your number. 5, 6, 7, 10, depending on what the offense is. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't always want to, but I get around to it. I gotta make time for it, because I can see things unfold, especially like Kadar, you said, you're having some challenges because you don't get along with the mom, when especially in those scenarios, when they feel like they can pick the parent that will give them their way, you have to be consistent, and they'll love you for the better for it later on. It may not be that way at the beginning, but it's going to be like that in the end.
Kahan.
Kahan. And we're good. You back? Kahan Tazadaq. Probably stepped away.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was trying to find that one in Ecclesiasticus. And that's funny that this is a topic, because I just came across that scripture. It's like 27, 28. About or something. I thought it was Ecclesiasticus. About laugh not at your son in his folly.
Yeah, that's Ecclesiasticus 30.
There we go.
It goes from 9 all the way to like 13.
Yeah. Yeah, let me see here. Cover that child. Yeah, yep, that's it. That is it. That's being overconfident in your son. I probably have to say that might be that might have been me that day that the young dude done cut his finger on the table saw, man. Golly. But then again, if you train him, because I looked at it in every single way. What could I have done different? But he's unused this machine hundreds of times and got complacent. He is well trained. Just went to go use the bathroom. Came back. Hey, yeah. Oh, yeah. Junior down to a nub, y'all, on one of his left index finger. Well, he'd be all right. Don't be overconfident in your son or brag on him too much. Get headstrong. And yeah. Ecclesiastes 30. And I would say, sure, you said verse 9.
10.
That's verse 7.
7.
Yeah, 7 all the way down here. I remember this really well. It was about 2 weeks ago when that thing took place. I'm trying to see what I can do different. Nothing.
I bring it out. Ecclesiastes, the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 30, verse 7. He that maketh too much of his son shall bind up his wounds, and his bowels will be troubled at every cry.
Kahan, so I mean that's heavy right there. You think too much of your son, you brag on him too much, like, and really, I would have to say that's more than just a proud father. That's probably a father who is looking to get some kind of kudos from the folks that are around him. You know what I'm saying? And then your son hearing that, I mean, he might look at it as, you know, him trying to be a little bit brave and might do something stupid. He'll hurt himself for no reason. Like you see these videos, pardon my language, but you know what they do on Jackass?
Yeah.
Yeah, like calling for attention and stuff like that. Yeah, like that is just crazy to me.
I don't even know what that is, man.
Slot?
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, well, it's a show where you
be
got dudes, they just do stupid stunts and they literally hurt themselves on purpose. And the show, of course, now, you know, it's based on ratings, but it was born out of, you know, bored folks doing stupid things and not learning from them. There's no lesson in that. They just laugh about it. Yeah, it's crazy. Always hurting themselves. And that second part says his bowels will be troubled at every cry, which means if you know that your son gets into trouble, anytime that he cries out, you're going to automatically, you know what I'm saying, be at a heightened state of alert. And it's funny because verse 8 actually says something like that. Go on verse 8, Art.
And horse not broken becometh headstrong.
Stubborn. Let me look up the etymology of the word headstrong, but I'm pretty sure it's stubborn. High-minded, going his own way. Disobedient to authority. Well, keep reading. I'm going to pull it up.
A child left to himself will be willful. Verse 9. Conquer thy child, and he shall make thee afraid. Play with him, and he will bring thee to heaviness. Laugh not with him, lest thou have sorrow with him, and lest thou gnash thy teeth in the end. Verse 11. Give him no liberty in his youth, and wink not at his follies.
That's it. That's it right there. Got to keep an eye on him. Do not neglect. Do not give him a dang on a tablet and tell him to go in their way, or a video game, and you know, and not ever monitor him. I know. I mean, there are folks. I've seen where I had growing up, man, I had some friends or some classmates, I should say, that end up getting some erotic type video games for their computer, and parents never knew anything about it. I was like, what are you doing with this? It was like, oh, well, they don't ever come in here. They don't ever check my room, never check my drawer, or, do whatever I want. I'm like, what? That is way too much freedom for an idle mind. Way too much.
Verse 12, bow down his neck while he is young, and beat him on the sides while he is a child, lest he wax stubborn and be disobedient unto thee, and so bring sorrow to thine heart.
Kahan, yeah, there it is right there. That's the one. Bow down his neck, not grab him by the neck, bow down his neck while he is young. Beat him on the side, not beat him in the face, not give him black eyes and busted lips. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Control.
It's way too overboard.
You ain't trying to deface him. It's not an abuse tactic.
Cool.
That's why it says do it when they're young, while they're impressionable, and he'll respect you. Versus, because if a child is disobedient, you can't protect a disobedient child. You tell him not to run across the street, he go anyway. He gone. Done. So whatever you need to do within, of course, and it's crazy that we have to say that, but the world we live in today, in a non-abusive type of way. You're not trying to deface him. You're not trying to, you're not trying to really injure him enough to make him think, hey, some apples, you drop an apple once, it's bruised. You got to drop a lemon or a lime many times before it gets soft enough. You know what I'm saying? So as the mother or the father, you know how you were. So you should probably deal with them the way that you would have wanted to be dealt with, and be that example. If you were abused, you don't want to abuse them, but you also don't want to go and leave them undisciplined. So staying in the scriptures is important to be able to make that determination. I don't know why I feel compelled to have to continue, not have to, but to continue to say that. Maybe because God said to let Walker in the background. But no, it's all good.
I know plenty of parents I've heard of plenty of parents that have gone way too overboard with in terms of physical discipline. It's not to be some type of tyrant over your child and really treat them like they're some animal or something like that. That's definitely not the way you want to go.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, man. In the Bronx, there was one of my neighbors ended up killing their child, disciplining them. I was like, how does that happen? Talking about city down. They were no more.
Got to be mindful of that verbal abuse too. I see that a lot out in public. Women talk to their kids any kind of way, cuss them out, all that.
Oh, yeah, I hate that thing. Again, I don't know what goes on behind, how folks deal with their kids, but positive reinforcement goes a long way. If you got to shame them down a little bit, shaming down is only temporary. You know what I'm saying? That ain't nothing it's not a driving force for a child, because they only have in them what we put in them. So it'd be different if it was an adult. Then, they can make a conscious decisions like, I'm going to do the opposite. But you put that inside of a child and that's all they hear, they're going to think they're actually stupid. They're going to think they're actually no good. And then they're going to continue to do more of that type of behavior despite the discipline or the shaming and all that. So there's a balance to that thing.
Verbal abuse will last longer than any type of physical abuse because it's embedded in your psyche to a point where you're just gonna follow it out. That's the worst. And it's mostly what I've seen. It's always Eve that's doing that, especially Eve to a son. I've experienced that myself, and it's just like, wow. It's just something you gotta break through. Gotta break past that.
Come on, absolutely. And Benaiah, I agree with you. And it's usually single mothers that are like that. And don't get me wrong, there's some hurt dudes out there and scarred dudes, but for the majority, it's mostly single mothers who are angry, who are bitter, and honestly, at the house, they don't even like really dealing with the children. They don't like dealing with the sons and the daughters. They'll give them a tablet, hey, go do this, or cereal's in there, go fix it yourself. Warm up some some pork and beans. I don't feel like cooking type of deal, while they're watching TV, social media, that type of deal. And as soon as somebody else correct the child, now they got a problem.
Don't talk to my child like that.
Time and time again. I've even seen in some of my family growing up, and some of my cousins, spoiled cousins. As soon as an auntie or my grandma say something, their grandmother want to, act like it's something so far fetched. Tell them, sit down, stop throwing stuff. Not around a group of people, a group of other adults. But hey, what verse we on here? We can keep going on this one.
Verse 13. Chastise thy son and hold him to labor, lest his lewd behavior be an offense unto thee.
Chastise thy son, correct him, and hold him to labor, to work for something, not just giving away to nothing. That lewd behavior is that free behavior, and that causes offense. A child that thinks that they're entitled to something outside of a need just because, that is a terrible thing. That is a terrible thing. We see that all day long now. An entitlement type attitude ain't got to work for nothing. Nothing. Oh man, it definitely offends you, especially if they ain't treating you with no respect. Oh yeah, you got to go. Verse 14.
Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 30, verse 14. Better is the poor being sound and strong of constitution than a rich man that is afflicted in his body.
Oh, okay. I think that's it on that one then.
Yeah, that's going to be different. Start talking about that.
Yeah, so that's 7 to 13. No, actually from 1 to 13. We start talking about the son raising children. Kanye, bring that get that back from the top, man.
Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 30, verse 1. He that loveth his son causeth him oft to feel the rod, that he may have joy of him in the end.
And that's the key right there. That's exactly what I just said. They may not like it at the time, but later on, they are going to love you for it. It don't matter how much they turn up their head, even if they tell you that I hate you, they will love you for it in the end. No matter how much they cry, plead, no, don't give me the 5. I don't want the 5. And but they've done took cookies out the cookie jar 10 times. You know what I'm saying? Or left the trash.
That's my daughter all day, boy.
Stealing cookies.
I'm talking about what? Check the bed. She got all type of chip bags and cookies. Oh man.
Yeah. Or not taking the trash out to the front and missing trash day, you know, X amount of times, and or trying to hide a grade that they got in school, or lying, or even stealing from like a grocery store just for the sake of it. They ain't hungry. They don't need no toys. They're just for the thrill of just trying to get something and get caught and whatnot. I used to have a sister that did that. My mother whipped it behind and made it take it all the way back to the store and give it back. Something so small.
Verse 2. He that chastiseth his son shall have joy in him, and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintance.
See, so you correct your son, that's where the joy comes. Correct them, and I would even say that correcting them is a timely thing. Like, you can't let it go and let them think that it was okay, then try to go back and backpedal. But as soon as you see a thing or hear everything, deal with it right then and there. So that way there'll be no confusion on where you stand. And it says, among your acquaintances, you know, you'll get props on how well behaved or how respectful and all that. That comes, but you got to correct them as soon as something takes place.
Verse 3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him.
Yeah, man. The enemies don't want to see your seed succeed. They want to trick them. So you produce another one of you, man, the enemy hates that thing. I got to wait till next generation.
Verse 4. Though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead, for he hath left one behind him that is like himself.
Kahan, yep, that's what I was just explaining. Keep going.
Verse 5. While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him, and when he died, he was not sorrowful.
Kahan, if you teach your son and your daughters the way that it is written, upon your death, it's not going to be a sad. It's going to be a celebration, because now, okay, they're ready to take over. They're ready to be that leader, you know, that family elder, or whatever the case is, or everyone look to take your place. And it has nothing to do with pride, but it's them feeling and knowing that they're well prepared for the life ahead because of what you've sown into them.
Verse 6. He left behind him an avenger against his enemies, and one that shall requite kindness to his friends.
There you go. Someone just like you, spitting out these scriptures, helping folks. They can take you out, but there are many, many more like you, not only your seed, but those that are around you. And you continue to live on through your seed and others. Yeah, that was it right there, man. Yeah, I was going over that about a couple of weeks ago, trying to, figure out my little old situation. Like, shoot, nothing else I could have did. Hey, but he is well prepared and spirit strong. So what other ways, we should train up our child based on how it's written in the Most High's word? Now, it doesn't specifically say this is how you should train up children, but it is written that as a leader, we should be examples to the flock. So what sense does it make in our own homes for us to correct our children and tell them to do one thing, but we're living another? That's going to cause confusion,
Lack
of confidence, and disobedience.
Be that light, that example.
Be examples to the flock and not to lord over them or whatever. I use that as well. You know, I do my best, you know, most high willing, to behave the way I want to see my sons and my daughters behave, speak the way I want them, you know, to speak, with the principle behind that thing. And I'm no expert by any means, but I am sincere, and you know, I don't go around, you know, crying and whatnot, but I do express that with to my sons and daughters, so they know how to handle, you know, the trials of life. And there's some things that you know, that I keep from them, but a lot of things I don't. If I'm having a challenging day, I'll let them know what made the day challenging, how I handled it. And, you know, I also try to reference some type of scripture or principle, Bible principle, in relation to why I made the decision that I made. So it's not only correcting your son or your daughter in their folly or them making a mistake, but, you know, when opportunity arises, you tell them a story about, you know, what happened to you and what you learned from it. That's also a good way of preventing some kind of hurt and shame, and showing them how, you know, how they may want to consider on making a similar type decision of living their life in that particular situation. Jacob, wake up. Shalom. What's that you got out there? Exodus 12:26. Jacob, wake up. You on the email list? I'm pretty sure you was. There was some kind of Jacob up there. Let's see what we got going on here. Oh, well, yeah, that's teaching them about the high holy days. Absolutely.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse 26. It shall come to pass, when your children shall say unto you, what mean ye by this service? Verse 27. That ye shall say, it is the sacrifice of the Supreme Allah's Passover, who passed over the houses of the children of Yasharallah in Mitzrayim, when he smote the Egyptians and delivered our houses, and the people bowed the head and worshipped.
And interestingly enough, this was placed in there for that purpose, so that way the Most High make sure that we pass it on from generation to generation. So when I went over correcting child in their folly, teaching them on a regular basis, especially while they're young, need to find well, I guess this will be a good scripture going as well, but teach them about the high holy days, the relationship that we reflect with our sons and our daughters, how they see us worship and deal with the Most High on a daily basis, time of trouble and time of elation or great joy. That's what they're going to have to reference. But you got to make sure you watching over them. Just got to make sure you're watching over them. And whatever it is, or however it is that you do it, I would say be consistent. Most says be faithful in anything. However, you're choosing to run your household, and you're dealing with your sons and your daughters. If you're consistent in that thing, that way they at least have a baseline, and they know where you're coming from. And they know where you're coming from. But we're always at work, always. Now I've definitely had to check myself on that. I just start bringing them with me. If when opportunity arises, just to spend that time. If you're always at work or they're always in daycare, it's gonna be a rough road on trying to teach your son and your daughter something. They spend 6 to 10 hours, sometimes 12 hours at school. Especially if they got like an extracurricular activity. However it is that that we choose to handle our seed in our houses, make sure. I suggest that you're faithful in that thing and you're consistent. No matter how it is or however it is that you do, how you relate to them, just make sure that you are consistent. And that's being faithful in that thing. If you got to increase it or back off a little bit as far as your level of how you supervise, based on their based on the age level, because not every age level needs the same amount of supervision, because you do want to promote some form of independence. You know what I'm saying? So they're not spoiled. But just be consistent in that thing, and most I'll work it out for you. He won't allow them to be taken from you. Because I was told that was the worst kind of hurt, to lose a son or a daughter.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll bring out that scripture y'all did put in the chat. The book of Yeshaya, chapter 54, verse 13. And all thy children shall be taught of Yahweh, and great shall be thy peace, great shall be the peace of thy children. So
it is a commandment to teach them. And what is that result? Peace. It is a commandment to teach our sons and our daughters of the Most High, and it is better for them in the end because of it. To me, that's almost kind of common sense. To me. But hey, it's in here for a reason. It's in here for a reason. Hey, Jadir, you didn't get the email either, right? So you go ahead and get that link. Go check the email. Let me see right quick. Pretty sure. Yeah, Jadir, you should be up here. Do I see his name up here? Well, if his email is up here, I don't
see him in the group, the email. Like I don't see him in there.
Yeah, so it's a commandment. Well, let's see what Kahan Tazadaq. See where he going with this thing. The man, the myth, the legend. Spirit moves a lot stronger in him than it does in me. But I'm just, however we need to go, I'm up for the challenge as well. So when I went over, don't provoke the children to anger. Also, don't spoil them. Don't laugh at them in their foolishness. Don't overboast about them. But teach them and train them young. Teach them and train them young. Hold them to their labor. Teach them, train them young, hold them to their labor. What are we training them? How to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. And that's basically what it boils down to. Cannot protect a disobedient child. Cannot. And automatically, the adult is supposed to be responsible. Shoot, forget that.
Cool. So having a child, you try to tell them, hey, watch out for danger or something like that, and they just go out and they're destroyed because of it. That's just on you.
Yeah, man.
It's on you.
Kahan, Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 6 and 7. It's another one. Almost mirrors Isaiah 54 and 13. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. Your heart is actually your mind, the seat of your soul, not the reservoir that beats in your chest. Verse 7. Thou shalt teach them diligently. Oh, appreciate that. So there's definitely a scripture for that. Being faithful in that thing. Diligent all the time. Teach them all the time thy children. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shall talk of them when thou sittest in thine house. Always speaking about the scriptures. That almost mirrors the priest's lips. Keep knowledge. As men, we are the priests of our home. As women, concubines and wives, law of kindness is supposed to be coming out of your mouth. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 7. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. Teach always. That looks like it's every opportunity. Verse 8, and thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and shall be as frontlets between thine eyes, and thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates. Yeah. Always teaching. Always training, always teaching. There's a lesson in everything. Oh, I appreciate that. Jacob, wake up. What are you saying? How do you feel when other brothers or sisters watch over your kids during feast days? I think the Kahan's gonna have to put the link in the room to be more specific, because I got questions. Do you mean while we leave them and we go to gather, or while we're gathering and everybody's in the same place? It's just the children are being looked after by somebody else. I mean, I would do either one of those, because most high holy days it's mandatory for the men to congregate. Now, if you're talking about we're gathered for the feast day and your sons and your daughters are here with you and they're in a separate area, not so much separate like by a wall, but just like, someone's watching over all the kids, all the, sons and daughters or whatever, that's perfectly fine. I don't have any problem with that, because not all the children are going to take hold of the scriptures, at their appropriate age. So to me, that's kind of a bit of wisdom. Kahan Tazadaq, you on the line? You may have stepped away a little bit or taking care of something still, but I have not yet seen a scripture where it says we can't do that. Teach them, according to their understanding. We don't want them to be a disturbance to the message for the rest of the congregation during the high holy days. There's some things that the Most High commands that the children partake in, and after that part is up, I mean, it only makes sense to me that because you got to deal with children like the way children are. You gotta deal with a child like the way a child is, I should say. So someone else watching them, that's, I mean, yeah, I don't see a problem with that. But yeah, Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses I'd say chapter 6 from the top to, yeah, Deuteronomy chapter 6. That's it. I'd say the whole thing, because it lays out on what we should teach our children and what are the rewards behind that. So we should always be teaching. It should be a lesson in everything. That's a good thing. We got Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 9. Let's see what that's about, Benaiah. Deuteronomy chapter 4.
Come on.
Oh, yeah, I got that highlighted. Now I remember seeing verse 5, but yeah, go ahead.
Book of Deuteronomy, Deborim, chapter 4, verse 9. Only take heed to thyself and keep thy nefesh diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and lest thou depart from thy heart all the days of thy life. But teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons. Oh,
There we go. So not only your sons, but your grandchildren. Always teaching. Always teaching. Only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligently. Only way you're going to be able to do that, yeah, if you're minding you. So what that's saying is that I shouldn't feel bad about being hard on myself, because there's a benefit to that. I'm going to keep on moving. So what's the recap? Man, I hope y'all getting these scriptures down, because this is key right here. Yeah, I'm gonna come up with a little lesson plan with all these up here. I'm glad this is the subject matter. So we want to make sure we don't provoke our children to anger, provoke them to righteousness. Always teaching. When you're coming in the house, when you're leaving the house, when you're going by the way, when you're waking up, when you're laying down, at the dinner table, cleaning up, hold them to labor. Do not be swayed by tears, especially if it's before and during understood discipline. Understood. There's absolutely no confusion. They know exactly why they're getting in trouble. Exactly. Keep it moving. Do not be swayed by puppy dog eyes, by the high-pitched noises and pleas, because that's just a manipulation tactic for them to continue to get their way. Believe me. Actually, don't believe me. Believe what's written, because we done read it. We done brought it out. I just know I've seen it. And I've probably even I know I've tried it. Getting disciplined one time when I was younger under the covers, and I was acting like I was crying. Oh, that worked good about 2 times. That 3rd time was not the charm. I'll tell you that. See here, what else to say about the child here, man? They ain't gonna get them when they're young. Dang on, they won't depart from you. I mean, all these wonderful things, man. Hey, Kahan, if you're in the background, is there any way you can post a link on the board? Because I'm pretty sure folks going to have questions, especially about this topic. Folks going to want some suggestions. What you do, what we do. And hey, in the background, if you're there, anyone who happens to be a social worker, guidance counselor, social worker's assistant, guidance counselor's assistant, definitely love to know what your opinion is about these scriptures, about how we should train children. Because based on the way they say we should train them, what they got going on in the public school systems, what are they really preparing your children for, Yasha? That's something that we definitely need to take control over. By and large, if you look at the big picture of the scriptures, especially that last one, the last couple, we should use every opportunity to teach. Why not do it at home and take responsibility over it ourselves and look after it? Knowing we know about the scriptures and knowing we know about, between ages 1 and 7, the most impressionable years of a child, why they're questionable things that are being taught to our children that we disapprove of. What can you do about it? How can you do it? How can you train up your child the way that he should go or the way that she should go? How can you take control over doing that? You can send an email to tazadaqshah@yahoo.com and it'll get you right. Definitely get you right. And if you guys haven't already, put a thumbs up in the room as you come in. And if you are here for the first time, welcome. For all the ones that are here regularly, especially if you have questions, you want to come up on a platform, or you're going to send any emails, go ahead and send a donation as well. Because Kahan put a lot of time and energy and, collaborating, doing the music thing and doing it by himself and putting all this stuff together, platform for true disciples of Christ and everything. Let's continue to keep the priests encouraged and continue to do things like this, because honestly, I mean, we're the ones benefiting because he's always giving. He allows us all to be used by the Holy Spirit, and he continues to give and to set things up. Honestly, I really think everybody should, as often as possible, no matter how big or how small, keep this thing going and keep them encouraged. Because I'm glad about it. But to stay on the topic, man, you want to definitely give to perpetuate the teaching how to train up your child in the way it should go. Keep these Bible studies going. Man, yeah, I'm glad about it. I might have to give Kahan a call. He never stay off this long. Whatever you're doing, getting somebody right. I guess to the Kahan, come on. Of the folks that are watching out there, if you have any questions, go ahead and post them up inside the chat. If you got any suggestions for Bible scriptures, you can go ahead and post them up in the chat as well until until the link gets posted and be opened up. But yeah, it's an excellent topic. I agree. Appreciate that. I like it. I do enjoy it. I may not be the best at it, but this is definitely something that I'm sincere about, and that's training children, training our sons, training our daughters, and building up the community, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. I like it so much. I got to check myself to make sure I don't do it too much. Based on what's written, it can never be too much. Where it says, diligently teach it. When you're passing by the way, you're waking up and going to sleep, home to the labor, at every opportunity. Teach them about these laws, statutes, and commandments. Show them your relationship with the Most High. And you know what? I mean, I ain't trying to change the subject, man, but man, that when the family sees the man and his relationship with the Most High, and then the family, meaning the children, sees the relationship of the woman in relation to the man, because the man is dealing with the Most High the way that he should be dealt with, and the woman is dealing with the man as if she's the Most High. I mean, that's like the ideal situation. That's like heaven, and that's a heavenly environment for a child to grow up with minimum, if any, minimum amount of confusion. Minimum to none. Minimum to no confusion.
I agree. Family structure and that order set properly according to the scripture. That's a beautiful thing to see. It's a beautiful thing to see, and it'd be hard for the enemy to penetrate that.
Yeah, man. Because I'm just, and I ain't got it all together by no means yet, but just to see the amount of progress in the past, 4 years since True Disciples of Christ, I don't have issues with my sons and daughters like that. Like really, like talking back or sneaking out or anything, like nothing like that. And it makes it easy for me to continue to do what I'm doing. When you don't have to worry about stuff like that, like you're setting yourself up for success. And honestly, I came from a detrimental state. I came from a state where, from where their mother was telling them I didn't love them for about a whole year. Daddy don't love you. He don't care about you. It's all like just straight up lying to them. When I got them back, I ain't gonna lie, it was rough. It was rough. It was rough. The stories and different things that how they got food, didn't get food, type of people that was around and left by themselves and different things like that. Yeah, it was rough. But I only say that to say that, there's definitely a great hope in doing these things that's in the scriptures on how to train up your children. It really starts with us as the man, though. If you're not man in your house, you're going to be hard up trying to teach your child this, because the child's first teacher is the woman. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a hopeless state if the woman's not helping, but if you doing your part, they can come out of that. They can definitely come out of that, and you just replace the woman. Who is that? It's a lot, but anyway, yeah, those are kind of issues that I'm scaring the dogs. Not even a real thing.
I agree with you though on that perspective, as far as you doing your part as a man, because like I can speak from my situation. I don't have really little to none issues as far as my daughter on how she conduct herself and things of that nature. It's more so like I say the mom, but it's like a situation where how can I explain it? Sum it up. Spiteful. It's a spiteful type of situation. So when I try to put down dietary laws as far as what my daughter can and cannot eat, just because she know I'm passionate about those type of things, she'll go against it. But my daughter knows, but it's to a point where she know to obey those laws when she around me, but when she goes around her mom, it's the opposite.
That's evil. That's evil. It's evil.
I'm talking about it's the dietary laws, the holidays, and the birth. My daughter, me and her already got a complete understanding, but being that her mom knows I'm passionate about these type of things, she does the opposite just to tick me off. So
Yeah, so in the end, it's the Most High is going to win, and you're on the Most High's, you doing what the Most High says to do. The child is going to eventually side with you. So even though my girls and my younger boys, they they were kind of they were defiant against me in the beginning about a lot of stuff. But then at the end of it, as they're seeing me be consistent, they see me leaving them at the house, gathering for these high holy days. They see me dropping everything that I'm doing, getting on these calls. They see me sacrifice the time with them to get on these Bible studies and the Shabbat lessons. Everything, the house basically shuts down for the most part. Everybody needs to be quiet and, there's a lesson kind of deal. Like everybody submits to the Most High in some way, shape, or form, and doing that enough. I think that's what really well, I don't think I can see that there's a difference, and it just happens over time. Dang on, you got Junior operating in the gift that I didn't even know that he had. Hey, let him go. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't the case 4 years ago. That was the furthest thing from his mind, like for real. Like, hey, do it.
He sure got it up.
So you got that thing out. And that's the state of the best type of creativity is for a child, when they're in a relaxed, consistent, structured type of environment, and the Most High lays it out, as we done brought out the scriptures. He lays it out. Lays it out, and this stuff works. This stuff definitely works. You see, sometimes, you see some kids that are out of control, and that's only because they got too many options. If they ain't got no mental disorder, they got like too many options. It's not consistent. They're being treated this way here, that way there. I can tell when I take my sons and daughters to the park. I have to be watching, and they'll come and grab me. Can you go push him on the swing? Daddy, father. Their father's not here. Can you help push him? Do this and that. So I just watch it play out. Whether you want these scriptures, whether you follow these scriptures or not, you're playing them out. You're walking them out, whether you're on the side of the Most High or not. See it.
Stands the test of time.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so anybody else in the chat, if you got any questions, you can go ahead and post them. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to see how else I can put this. So, if you got structure in the home, utilize every opportunity to teach, these laws, statutes, and commandments, and then you show them an explanation on how what that looks like in you, and they see you pray, they see you frustrated, and then get yourself together and stuff like that, and you consistently on a weekly basis, I say at least once a week, if not twice, depending on how old your sons and your daughters are, require them to read some scriptures and then have a discussion about it, so that way it provides an opportunity for you to teach them how to read and break down the scriptures as well, so they can see it for themselves, especially the sons. And this thing ended up working out. Things just happen, just get in place, and things become easy. They're gonna start meeting you at the door. Take off your shoes, take off your boots. Let me take your hat. You want me to throw that away for you? Stuff like that. I look forward to it. I enjoy it a lot. Now, I enjoy it a lot. Chris says, General, may we get an example of what keeping the statutes would be? I know the 10 commandments. There's 613 commandments, Chris. 613. What is an example of what that looks like in relation to?
They all throughout the scriptures. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Gotta be more specific than that.
Yeah.
Broad.
I appreciate that, because I was about to be stumped. I'm like, man, I got questions for you now. Like,
you gotta try to sum it down to a specific topic or something.
Look at Yahweh Shai. Go read about Yahweh Shai, Christ.
So, I came into the truth, 2018, when Kahan put it out there for True Disciples of Christ, I think it was. So as I'm learning the scriptures, I'm making index cards, I'm taking notes, putting them up in the bathroom mirror type of deal. Now I might seem a little weird, but the fact that I literally took it back to my elementary school days and act like I knew absolutely nothing about the Bible, and that's how I kind of came into this. And I try my best not to be clouded with with so-called Christianity, because most of those types of churches, they tell you to throw away the Old Testament type of deal.
Right.
So that's how I did it, and that's really it. If the change happens in you first, it'll be easy for your kids to follow at wherever their level of understanding and conviction is.
Salakia, I just want to take this time to say shalom to my brother Aki, Wake Up Jacob. I haven't seen you in a long time, Aki, man. How you been, Aki? Aki, Wake Up Jacob. Mind if you come on here and say something, Aki? How you been, Aki?
Just like me.
Man, you can always tell Wake Up Jacob, man. It's distinct.
Oh.
Aki.
Well, yeah, Chris, I actually I got these printed out here, man. 613 commandments. Just take them one at a time, man. If you find yourself, you break one, ask, for the Most High to forgive you, repent, and you got to do everything you can to not, continue to break it. Especially if, you ain't grow up like this. So, you're not going to know. Life is not going to be set up to make it easy. So you have to do that. You have to do all that groundwork in the beginning. I'm going to say with sincerity and conviction, not just to look at it and throw it away. Be like, oh, okay.
Least I forget.
Exactly.
Lover boy.
Super love.
Super lover under the cover.
Super love.
Super lover under the cover. Denial love. Super lover.
Super love.
I don't know what you guys went over, man. You guys read Exodus 20 and 2. That's the first commandment that came with promise. Let's get Exodus 20, verse 2. Brother Waker Jacob, you got anything, Aki? Just come on over here, Aki.
We're going to go over all 613. Let's go.
I ran 4.5 miles today, Aki. Ran 4.5 miles today, Aki.
Shoot, that's...
Kahan Tazadaq, you mind if I say something, Aki? Wake up, Jacob, man. That's my man. Exodus 20, Salakia, 20 verse 12, my bad. That's the first commandment that came with promise. Exodus 20 verse 12.
Book of Shemot, Exodus chapter 20 verse 12. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land, which Yahweh, your supreme Elohim, giveth thee.
All right, keep reading that.
Verse 13. Thou shalt not kill.
Okay, yeah, that's on that. So this commandment right here came with promise. So, and that's one thing the Most High can't do is break his own promise. So it's saying to honor your mother and your father. The Bible never gives you a reason to disrespect your mother or your father, even if they're wrong. That's the first commandment ever that came with promise. That if you honor your mother and your father, your days would be living on this earth would be longer. Your days would be longer on the land. From there, let's get Deborah 6 and 27. David. He was on here. He must have been lit. We lit.
Shalakia, 6 only go to 25.
We screwed that one up, man.
Yes.
It's 6 and 2. It's 6 and 2, and then jump to verse 7.
Go ahead, Benai.
All right. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 2. That thou mightest fear the supreme Elohim Yahweh, to keep all his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee, thou and thy son, and thy son's son, all the days of thy life, and that thy days may be prolonged.
Okay, so right there, it's telling you if you keep these commandments, your days will be prolonged in the earth. Jump to verse 7.
Come on, it's the book of Deborah, chapter 6, verse 7. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children.
So we supposed to teach these commandments to your children. The Most High is telling you to teach these commandments to your children. What did Jason donate, man? These people donate, I don't even know why, man. Oh, nothing, man. What's going on? So we're to teach these to our sons and our daughters so that they could grow up in the truth, because this generation right here is lost. Your only hope is to raise these children correctly, Because the generation and maybe 4 generations before us, that's when Eve and Jake just went wild, man, like wild weeds. Was it on that, Benaiah? Or was there a little more?
There's some more.
Uh,
And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
So we're supposed to be teaching these the first when they get up in the morning, so when they go to bed at night. That's the first thing should be on your mind, and the last thing on your mind is the Most High. The first thing on some of your minds is porn, or the vajayjay, and the last thing on your mind is porn and the vajayjay. That's your entire life. From there, let's get Ephesians 6, verse 1 through 4. Train up a child. How should you train your children? Teaching them commandments is the first thing that we've established right here. Teaching the commandments so they don't turn away from it.
Come on. Book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verses 1 through 4. Children, obey your parents in Yahweh, for this is right. Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise.
See that? That's the first commandment that came with promise. We read it over there in Exodus 20, verse 12. That commandment was the first commandment that ever came with promise. God.
That it may be well with thee, and thou mayest live long on the earth.
So if you honor your mother and father, you'll live a little longer.
Verse 4. And ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nurture and admonition of Yahweh.
Let's get Colossians 3, verse 20 through 21. So we're supposed to bring them up in the admonition of Yahuwah. You know what I'm saying, wake up, Jacob. You got anything, Aki?
Khan. The book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 20. Children, obey your parents in all things, for this is well pleasing unto Yahweh. Fathers, provoke not your children to anger, lest they be discouraged.
Khan. So you don't want to hit them with too much because they're going to become discouraged. And a lot of parents need to take heed to that because they push their children way beyond their capacity. And a lot of you parents, you attempt to impose your will on the children and try to make them like you instead of letting them be individuals. You know, you're supposed to make suggestions to your sons and daughters, not dictate to them. Just like you had a life and choices, you have to give them that opportunity, man. You got to give them that opportunity, man. And I'm gonna hit you something. All judgment comes from the Most High. When something happens, that's Yahuwah's judgment. When someone dies, that's the Most High's judgment. Let's get Job 30, not Salakia, Job 4, verse 7. Job 4, and when you get there, read verse 7.
Khan.
Jeffrey Lopes.
The book of Job, chapter 4, verse 7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished, being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off?
So he's asking who died because they was innocent. No, that was judgment. You see what I'm saying? Everything is part of the Most High's judgment. He said, whoever perished being innocent. No one.
Damn.
What's that?
No, this is deep. It's the Most High's judgment.
Psalm 68, verse 20. David, you better repent, brother, before you die in your way, King. Has anyone heard from Marty, man? I've been calling him and getting no contact, man.
No, I'll continue to try him.
Oh.
Kahan, the book of Psalms, chapter 68, verse 20. He that is our supreme Elohim is the supreme Elohim of salvation. And unto Yahweh belong the issues from death.
Con. So that means the Most High is responsible for all deaths. Unto Yahweh belongs the issues of death. No one could die if the Most High did all that, I think. The Most High is responsible for all issues of death. He gives life and he calls death. That's in Deborah 32 and 39. From there, let's get Genesis 18, verse 19.
Kahan, the book of Genesis, Bereshith, chapter 18, verse 19.
Hey, who's Chris? Is that a new guy?
It looks new, but I'm suspect. Hopefully it ain't the one that I know. Book of Genesis, Bereshith, chapter 18, verse 19. For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him, and he shall keep the way of Yahweh to do justice and judgment, that Yahweh may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken of him.
And he's talking about Abraham right there. He said, I know him. And Abraham's going to raise his household according to the Lord's statutes and commandments of the Most High. Say, for I know him. And this is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to follow the example of Abraham. Proverbs 23. Did you guys read that? 22 and 6. I messed up my glasses, man. How did it stretch like that?
Book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 6. Train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
Train up a child in the way that he should go, and he's old, he should not depart from it. That's crystal clear. It requires no interpretation of nothing. Proverbs 23, verse 13.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 23, verse 13. Withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die.
So you're supposed to train that child. And Esau assisted him and said, hey, man, you better not spank that child. We're going to come and see you. You spank that child, we're going to come and take him. That's our child. You signed them over, or her over with the birth certificate. Don't you dare discipline your child, because we need them to be disrupted so the police can shoot them 60 times for acting up, or we could lock them up and make some money off of them. Don't you dare discipline your children. The Negro don't do that. Who the heck you think you are, discipline your children? You got to let them run wild so they could declare the justifiable homicide. Don't you dare discipline your children. Who do you think you are? Thinking for yourself? You Negroes thinking for yourselves now? Not permitted to do that.
They don't get them when they're little, they'll get them when they're older.
That's a dangerous Negro when he starts to think for himself. He's got to go. Let's put something on him. Can't find anything on it, make something up. So J. Edgar Hoover told him, man, make something up then. I don't give a damn, make something up. So he's clean, he ain't got nothing on it. Make something up.
Mm-mm. That dude was dirty as hell.
Mm-hmm. That's Esau's life, though, isn't it?
Oh.
The glasses get stretched like this, bro. All right, that's all I got, man. That's enough.
I'm noticing us being talked down upon about disciplining a child, spanking them and stuff like that. They're trying to make it seem like that's some archaic way of treating your children.
Abuse.
Yeah. It's like, oh no, we don't hit our children.
Mm-hmm. A lot of Jakes are saying that. No.
Come on. They just got that from Esau. Cause they don't, Esau don't do that. They're just following up behind.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They love following Esau, man.
Yeah, they can have that. They're the same ones that we putting the kids on a leash. I cannot get over that, man. I'm just like, what? Like faithfully on a full body harness.
You straight that rod though, they'll never know the boundaries.
Exactly.
The fear.
Come on.
Yeah. You gotta make them think, man.
No discipline, no respect towards authority. No fear, like you said, no fear.
So they want him, man. So they could betray you, man.
Now we brought out Ecclesiasticus chapter 30. Basically from 1 down, I believe about 14 to 15. Did the Ephesians, did the 22. We didn't bring out the 23, which you just did. Isaiah 54, Deuteronomy chapter 6. Shemo, Exodus, 20 and 12. Yeah, it's definitely when something happens, it's definitely a lesson learned from the Most High. It's up to us to find out what that is. We're gonna open it up for questions and answers, or
If they have questions, sure, why not?
yeah, they were putting some in up earlier. Chris, would be a good opportunity for you to ask your question specifically.
Drop the link over there, man. See if any of these people want to come in. Oh, there's David. David, he popped back up. He said something that wake up Jacob, man.
I hope Hope he's all right.
He's all right.
Sober, I mean. When I say that. Oh man, I need to double up on that stuff. Oh, Slark, I thought I was muted. Yeah, that was a quick glimpse. I'll be coaching and talking to myself, challenging myself. Need to double up on it. Oh, they said he's driving.
Who's that? David?
Nah, Chris. Whomever that is. He who calls himself Chris.
We've been oppressed too long. I'm gonna play that one again. The time comes soon.
Yeah. Nobody got no questions, man? Jeffrey Lopes, what's going on, Jeffrey Lopes?
Oh, you posted the link?
Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, let me see. It didn't hit send. My bad.
Somebody got some questions. Shoot, we got 44 thumbs up, 36 watching. At the moment, someone has to have some questions about teaching always, whether you wake up, laying down, passing by the way, holding your son to his labor while training up your child.
Quiet, man.
Yeah, ain't nobody put nothing in there. Sure, it has been about 2 hours though. Play some of them new songs, them videos.
Can't play it on this, man. It has to be uploaded to
Gotcha.
can't really hear him, man. It has to be uploaded to whatchamacallit, man.
Con.
I don't know what's been going on with that.
Oh yeah, check your email. Could I put a number?
Oh yeah. So
yeah, it went to my spam folder. Yeah. Yes. Sure, I ain't got nothing else. But did got that situation straight?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It went over there a couple days ago.
Yeah, I'll be dropping everybody off this weekend. Friday and be back early Sunday morning.
Not very long.
Well, I'm gonna be back. They're gonna stay. Yeah. Probably gonna be here for about like a month or so.
I left my sunglasses in the car, man. I don't know if it melted or what, man, but the sun stretched them. Like now they're too big for my face, man. For some expensive sunglasses, man.
I was about to ask you what kind of sunglasses do that in the sun.
No, I guess it was so hot in the car, man.
Yeah,
Like 130 degrees there.
130?
Yeah, when I got in the car the other day, it was 130, man.
Oh, well, yeah, that'll do it.
Crazy.
Yeah, that makes sense. Dang, I was about to say.
And they was inside of the case. The case was dark, so I guess it attracts heat. I just noticed it today when I'm trying to put them on. Like I could see the frames are bent, man.
Damn.
The sun just changed the configuration. I was trying to go to the site, man, and see if I could
I know it's been hot down here, but it ain't been no 130.
No, that was just inside the car. It was probably like 100 that day. But inside the car, man, it gets way hotter. They say it's 10 to 20 degrees hotter.
I know. I was riding the other morning, and I got out the car. Like, I had the AC on like 60, 65, and I got out the car. My glasses immediately fogged up.
Calm. What are we doing? I had a pair of glasses messed up like that. I left them in the car.
See?
And they got messed up.
Oh wow.
Messed up.
I need to run up and
30.
The thing is,
get out of there.
These like $400 glasses, man. There's no scratch or nothing on them, but the the two things that go behind your ear, I don't know what you call them, man. The two ones that sticks out, the frames.
Sometimes they call them feet or
Yeah. So those are stretched way open, man. Like it could fit on Andre the Giant's face.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Damn.
Seriously, man, change the configuration totally.
Mm.
You put them on, they look lopsided.
They won't stay on. It's too wide for my face now, man. All I gotta do is bend down there, fall off.
Oh yeah.
The glasses are still in perfectly good condition, man. Take them somewhere, man. I don't know how that happened, man.
Yeah, I would try to take them somewhere because if the actual lenses themselves are straight, they might just be able to replace the frame itself.
Shoot, the company that got a monopoly on sunglasses is right down a couple exits down from us.
Who's that?
Call them Luxor or something like that.
I never even heard of them, man.
They make they do all like the framework. They're like the manufacturer for all the companies is what it is.
The frames are plastic up.
Yep.
They might could heat them and bend them in a little bit.
Maybe. Yeah. I need to try and take them to that place Yasha Beam's talking about tomorrow, man. This is Dolce Gabbana, man. I had these for, a few years. I really wear them down, man. Should have never left them in that damn car in the front seat. Changed the entire configuration.
Yeah, see if you can get that straightened out. That's wild. Yeah. 400? Yeah, I definitely go ahead and see about getting that correct.
I had him for at least 2-3 years. But like I said, I never really wore him, man. I really only wear him in the summer. I got stretched really out though, man. It's crazy is I've left other glasses in there, but it never happened. But I didn't leave them on a seat like that. I usually have them in the glove compartment. It could have been a direct sun to it.
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
was
thinking.
just thinking that. You sit on the seat. I'm like, that might have been it.
But you know, they was in a case still. They was in a case.
Yeah, but anything that the sunlight hits and it comes directly through the glass, that's the hottest part. So that makes sense.
It's like in the summer when you touch that seatbelt, the metal part of the seatbelt, that thing be spicy hot.
I was in my head, good thing they wasn't no metal frame. You would have put them things on, you probably had a burnt mark. 130.
Just don't like taking lures. These was one of my favorite glasses, man.
No, you can fix them though, Art. You can take no law.
Sometimes if they got that same frame, sometimes they stop making certain frames.
Yeah, especially them designer frames.
Yeah, it won't make any sense to replace the frame. Benign, that's what you're paying for. Like the frame, yeah, I mean, because they're not real glasses; they're just sunglasses.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of shades.
Yeah, they are sunshades, whatever you want to call them, man. But it's not, it's not some prescription glasses or anything like that. Is what I mean.
Right. I'm thinking of prescription.
No. Jeffrey Lopes. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, man. Inside of a car is usually, I think they say 20 degrees hotter.
You're right. You're absolutely right. It amplifies it up to dang on. I think it's more than 20 degrees though.
Yeah, I think it is.
It's a lot more. I'm pretty sure it's almost, it can be up to double what the temperature is outside because the glass, because the windows, they hold in heat.
Calm.
And a lot of the windows are curved, so it has somewhat of a magnifying, effect to it, depending on the position of the sun.
See, listen to
That's
this.
more. That's more than 100.
That's about 30 degrees. So I was right. It was about 130. So it's saying right here, the hottest months on record are July, August is the hottest month in the Mid-South. But July is right behind with average temperatures as low as the 90s. With that in mind, let's talk about how they could get inside your car. And you may be surprised how fast the temperature can rise. There have been so many fatalities of children and pets left inside of hot cars. So let's examine why and how fast the hot temperatures can heat up on a mild day. The radiation from the sun is absorbed. The heat goes inside your car and is trapped, which in turn causes the inside temperature to rise. On a sunny 70-degree day, it only takes about a half an hour for the temperature inside the car to reach 104. So as you see, that's 34 degrees right there. If you think that's fast, after 1 hour, it could reach 113. So it could get that's almost 40 degrees right there. Actually, it is. It's 43 degrees.
Cool.
When the temperature outside climbs ranges 80 degrees to 100 degrees, the internal temperature of your car reaches a scorching 130 to 172. See, people thought I was making fun. But when I get inside my car, it tells me the inside temperature. And the thing said 132 degrees. So I had to leave the door open and turn the air on for a minute. The temperature inside lowers. It is best to have a tint on your window. Window tinting filters wavelengths from the sun that produce heat. Another way to provide some relief from the heat inside is to use a windshield shade. So there you go, man. It could get up to 130 to 1. Man, you could almost cook in that, man.
Yeah.
See what people die in there? And they leave their doors in there.
Without windows cracked, sometimes that's crazy.
Doesn't matter if they cracked up what, man. If that temperature get up to that, come on, man. It's like suffocation.
Cool. I remember hearing about those stories about people leaving their kids in their cars.
A lot of states, man, that's a crime, man. And you can see why now. I wouldn't do it anyways, man. Yeah, many a times, man, when I had to go and get gas, if my sons were with me, I'd take them right with me. I don't trust it, man.
Cool.
At all. Nope. Wouldn't do it, man. You'll see me come running out of the gas station, busting.
Oh.
Well, no questions from Jeffy Lopes, man. I guess that's it, man. It's getting late anyway. It's 11:35, man. I need to go to bed.
So I think Jacob Wake Up trying to throw a shot. Told some say you want to be a warrior, huh? I see you. See you, Aki.
Aki Jacob Wake Up. You talking to me, Aki? You saying, Aki? I could come down to Richmond, Aki. Be a warrior, Aki. Appreciate everything you're doing, though, Aki. Jacob Wake Up, my man. So yeah, I'm gonna say shalom, man. Shut this down, man. David put him on Peace Kings. I think he's cool, man. He's got a profile, you know. Sit your ass down, man.
Peace Kings.
Only one. He should get that trademark.
Mm-hmm.
MIA Eric White. What's up, man? I seen you up there in the beginning. Hey, you need to give Kahan a call, Eric. Don't be no stranger. You right next door.
Yeah, he was over here the other day, man. All right, man. Shut this down. Everybody be safe, man.
Oh, shalom.